Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. After reading this new story from the Daily Huddle, I feel extra good about holding Cardano. I've actually been holding Cardano since the end of 2017. So why am I even mentioning this? Well, here's the headline from the Daily Huddle. Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson comments on XRP lawsuit, calls it regulation through enforcement. So it's nice to be getting support from somebody who's very well known in the world of crypto, has nothing to do with XRP or the XRP ledger or Ripple in any capacity, and still he's got the cojones and the intellectual honesty to know what the SEC is doing here is wrong, and actually not just believe that, but speak out about it. And he has been for the entirety of this lawsuit. So I wanted to share with you some stuff that he had to say. It's just a fun little article here. And also, I got a couple other things that are pretty neat too. There are a couple of Ripple employees in New York City at Times Square, and they took some pictures with some advertisements for the XRP ledger in Times Square. Gigantic advertisements, so I thought it'd be fun to share that. And also, check this out. XRP is going to be used for gas fees within a metaverse that Ripple is officially supporting. So interesting stuff all around. But before going any further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. So let's get into this first piece now. Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson doesn't think highly of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission's lawsuit against Ripple. The SEC sued Ripple in late 2020, alleging the payments firm sold XRP as an unregistered security. And by the way, it's worth noting, XRP and Cardano for the last, week or two, whatever it's been, they've been fighting back and forth, both changing places for the number 7 and number 8 spot in terms of market cap. But still, neither of them should be there. There are stable coins above them. I'm sorry, am I talking about that too much? It really grinds my gears to that degree. Nobody's going to CoinMarketCap and like CoinWatch to see if a stable coin is still $1. Fine, I get it. They can go to zero like UST. But, or actually, I don't know for sure if it quite, last I checked, it was like 15 cents. It's a stable coin, so it's supposed to be $1. You see what I'm saying, though. I understand, fine. Look at it then, or maybe just, track it, but maybe not as a default. But because, the reason I have a problem with that, too, now I'm getting off rails, but I promise I'll get back on the rails here. It's because since all of these stable coins are being tracked, and that's the decision that's been made by CoinMarketCap and Live CoinWatch, it makes it that much easier for XRP to finally get booted from the top 10. And it's been in the top 10 its whole life. And it just bothers me that because of the way that these entities like CoinMarketCap and Live CoinWatch choose to run the index, that the whole world's going to perceive it as XRP out of top 10 if that happens, even though there's 3 or maybe there'll be 4 stable coins above it just because they've been printed so heavily. It is what it is. I'll go forward though. Sorry. Thanks for humoring me. In a new interview with BitBoy Crypto, Hoskinson says regulators shouldn't operate on a case-by-case basis, which he says makes everybody live in fear. And here's a quote from Charles Hoskinson. It's just an example of what happens when you do regulation through enforcement instead of legislation. You should have clear, understandable standards, and there should be a clear process for people to adhere and comply with those standards. For example, with the Ethereum crowd sale in Switzerland, we just asked the Swiss government, and after a few weeks of haggling, they told us what to do, and we had a thing, and it was over. Pause. Just pause. Can you imagine if the SEC were so reasonable? So it's a new technology. You're like, well, here's this thing we want to do. How do we go about doing the thing? And the SEC's like, well, no, you cannot do the thing. There is no path forward. There's literally no path forward. They're literally just like, well, just don't do the illegal thing. And then like, well, how do we do something that's not illegal? Like, how do we comply? And they're just like, well, don't break the law. And you cannot get an answer out of these folks because they want to be able to sue everyone into oblivion. They want to keep the door open on that. Anyway, Charles Hoskinson continues, and this is the rest of his quote. The SEC tends not to issue no action letters in a meaningful way for the industry. So there's no real good means of interfacing and integrating, and in the absence of that, people have different opinions, and there are winners and losers, and sometimes people get away with crazy stuff. End quote. Yeah, no kidding. Sometimes people do get away with crazy stuff. In particular, the scams. If they just focus on going after the damn scams, that would protect investors. Or at least it potentially would. They'd probably botch that too because they seem wholly incompetent over there at the SEC. But still, that would be a better approach. At least you're trying real hard for a good cause at that point. Piece continues. According to Hoskinson, the SEC's current approach is not conducive to the growth of the industry in the country as it forces crypto-native firms to move elsewhere. And here's a final quote from him. I think it creates perverse incentives inside the marketplace and ultimately regulatory arbitrage because basically those jobs go to Singapore and they go elsewhere. So I don't like the destruction of American jobs, the inconsistent clarity, the changing administrations having a big influence on the change of policy. There should be universal standards and there should be universal definitions, and hopefully this case resolves in a way that's good for the industry, but it's just an indication of what happens in the absence of good leadership. Thank God somebody outside of XRP, the XRP community, is saying this. And there are a number of, don't get me wrong, there are some, but nowhere near enough. Most of the rest of the industry, they're paying attention, they're watching, they're aware of this, and they're silent. That bugs me. That really bugs me. Because I'm telling you, I see other cryptocurrencies, the SEC is attempting to sue them into oblivion. I talk about them. I do talk about them on this channel. I will continue to. And even if they were sued first, I'd still be talking about it. It's not like I'm fond of what the SEC is doing here. That's for damn sure. But I just want to say credit to Charles Hoskinson because he's been saying this from the beginning. In fact, I'm not going to read this article, but this is a headline from December 28th, 2020. So this is all of 6 days after the lawsuit dropped. This is from Crypto Gazette titled Cardano creator, that's not a word. Cardano creator Charles Hoskinson said XRP is not a security. So he was one of the first to come right out the gate and be like, no, this ain't right. We ain't having none of this, son. But on to some happy news, because the XRP ledger is not going away regardless of what happens within the United States. And I still think we're going to get good, happy resolve within the United States as it pertains to XRP. But either way, it ain't going away. And people are building on top of the XRP ledger and utilizing XRP for various use cases as a result. Even if your project results in setting up a trust line. Well, XRP needs to be used for that per the way that XRP ledger is coded. So right there, bam, XRP used for multiple projects. But take a look at this. This is from a Ripple employee, Emi Yoshikawa. And she wrote, XRP ledger ad at Times Square. And in this tweet, she shared 3 pictures. So here's the first one for those that care to look. You can see in the top right here, 4 seconds to settle. So it's moving. It's a moving advertisement. So that's the first shot, 4 seconds to settle. And then I'll move to the next one. Here you can say they're super excited. And that's Reinhard Kate, Ripple employee. He's the one that does the Ripple Drop series. I'm sure many of you are familiar with that. Does a good job with that. And here it says 0, or it's 0, there's a number 0 up here. It says nearly 0 transaction, and then it's cut off, but I'm assuming it's nearly 0 transaction fees. I'm guessing that's what that is. And then here's a third picture. Build and mint on the XRP ledger. Visit xrpl.org, XRP Ledger Foundation. And then here's a nighttime pic of that same first set here. You can see, I'll make this full screen. Emi Yoshikawa wrote, the ledger that never sleeps, hashtag XRPL. And so there it is. That's XRP, the ledger that never sleeps, right in Times Square. Gotta love it. Ever been to Times Square? It's a good time out there. I tell you, back in when it was 2006 going into 2007, I did that thing that tourists do where they go to they go to Times Square for the ball drop. Oh my God. I'm never doing that again. That thing goes back I don't even know. I don't know if it's a mile, 3/4 of a mile. They can cram literally 1 million people in there if memory serves. And so they let you in from a particular entry point, and then it starts getting piled up, and they start letting people in 8 hours before the ball drops, 8 hours before midnight. And there are no restroom facilities or anything. So if you want to go use a restroom, you have to leave And then when you come back in, you can't go back to where you were. You're at the back. So that's it, if they're even letting people in at that point. It was just ridiculous. So I was standing there for like 7 or 8 hours with my 3 friends. We took a road trip to New York City, and we still had fun. It was an interesting experience, but my God, I'm never going to do that again. Oh, good old doing the ball drop. If you've done that, if you've gone through that experience, please leave a comment in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you thought about that. But it's just anytime you tell somebody like, yeah, there are no toilets for 1 million people. Like, what? But it's true. It really is true. Anyway, back to the topic at hand here, though. So XRPL.org. This is the XRP Ledger Foundation's website, and so it's just a not-for-profit entity that is supporting all things XRP Ledger effectively. And there's a section here. I'm on the uses page here. And it's interesting. So you can go down to, like, they have this section here that I'm scrolling through, and they just highlight a bunch of different developers building on top of the XRP ledger, utilizing XRP. Ripple's on here. They're not the first listed, which is perfectly fine. But there's a ton listed here, and it just keeps growing. So my attitude when it comes to developing within the crypto space in general, like for anybody that is a developer, and I am not, but for anybody that is, it's like, take the same approach. It's a messy approach, but take the same approach that we took to the internet. Like, you have an idea? Okay, well, even if it sounds stupid, like, okay, you wanted to give it a try, just throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. That's kind of what happened with the internet, and that's kind of what happens with business ideas in general. Like, you got to get a market response. So some things sound wacky and they work. Most things sound wacky and they don't work. Most ideas are just terrible, horrendous ideas that will fail, which is why I said this is messy, but that's how you figure this stuff out. Some things will stick. And so, in terms of this metaverse thing that I cited at the beginning of the video, take a look at this. So here's a tweet from RippleX, the development arm of Ripple, effectively. And they tweeted this out just a few days ago. We're partnering with Fluff World, yes, you did hear that right, Fluff World, to bring the open metaverse to life, enabling metaverse projects to mint NFTs and buy/sell/trade in network tokens on the Root network, which will be built on the XRP ledger with XRP as a native asset. And so then there's this link here, which goes to Business Wire, and they explain it. And this does utilize XRP, or it's going to. I mean, it's under development here. But check this out. Today, Ripple, the leader in enterprise blockchain and crypto solutions, and Fluff World, that's a funny name, a pioneer in 3D-enabled content-rich NFT collections and experiences, announce an unprecedented partnership to bring to life the open metaverse via the new decentralized blockchain network, the Root Network. The Root Network brings together best-of-breed components from the Web3 community with a deliberate focus on the user experience, which is why it will be built alongside the blockchain best suited to enable settlement and liquidity of tokenized assets at scale, the XRP Ledger. XRP Ledger will play a critical role in the Root Network by setting the standard for NFT functionality and, money shot right here, utilizing XRP as the default digital asset for transaction activity in the network's multi-token gas economy. So we'll see what happens, but NFT. So look, as far as the whole NFT thing, remains to be seen what's going to happen with that within the with the XRP ledger. It seems in a lot of ways it's perfectly suited for this, but from the beginning, XRP ledger did not have sufficient native layer 1 technical attributes that you need to really take advantage of what it means to participate in the world of NFTs. But there's an amendment that's been proposed. We're still waiting to see if that gets passed. That would add layer 1 functionality. And then you're talking about competing with like Ethereum for NFTs, or pick your platform, it doesn't matter. But you're talking about gas fees being an issue of the past year. And you're talking about XRP functionally being utilized, or further adoption of XRP. So if you're talking about another use case, and hopefully this one would stick, I wish this project the best. I hope it works out. And that's good for anybody that's an XRP holder. It's further adoption. And I did check out their website a little bit. I'm not going to play with it, much for the purposes of this video. But I will say, of course, Fluff World intentionally kind of cartoony and silly and all that, and they're just trying to be fun. The artwork looks actually really impressive. Whoever does the actual art for this, I don't even know how the hell you do that. That's definitely something. So, like I said, throw everything at the wall, see what sticks. I'm all for it. but this is interesting stuff here. But really, as far as being a member of the XRP community, we should hope that everything works out, and then understand that, as is the case when you're doing all sorts of novel things and operating in the world of business, most things fail. But we should be supportive, and I wish them the best. I really do. I hope this works out, and I hope we see that amendment pass, I think XLS 20 amendment. We'll see what happens. It's such early days. Who the hell even knows, right? I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.